I'm about to ask you some question, and the reason for that is because I don't know the answer for it. I'm reading the Bible, and some things I'm not understanding. So I'm asking you to help me understand it, or at least help me make it make sense. Jesus was about to be crucified, so he went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray, and he takes his disciples with him. He told them to wait here for a while he go over there and pray for a little bit. Why was that? That seemed like the wrong question to ask or the right question. I'll tell you why I asked that. He could have prayed right there in front of them. So my question or my reason for asking this question is, did he have something that he wanted to say to God that he didn't want them to hear? If that's the case, if he whispered a prayer, God would hear it. Or if he said it in his mind, God would still hear that prayer. So what was the reason why he had to excuse himself to go talk to God? So if that's the case, that he wanted to hide something from them or didn't want them to hear what he was saying to God, now we know what that prayer was about and what he said. It's right there. He asked God that if it is possible that he could, don't let them crucify him. It said it there, go read it for yourself. Basically tell God or ask him if it is possible, don't let it happen, but if he cannot do it or he don't want to do it, he'll understand and he will take it. That was the prayer. That did not take long. But when he got back, the disciples, they were sleeping. And he asked them, could you guys at least wait and watch with me for an hour? So it seemed like he was gone for an hour. In that short time, the prayer that he prayed, according to the Bible, that's all he prayed. Nothing else. That should not take an hour. Unless he went far away and it take him that long to get back. That is not the case either, because the Bible said it right there, how far away he went. Not even 100 meters from where the disciples was. And it clearly said that's all he prayed and asked God to do. While he was praying, they all were sleeping. And if they were all sleeping and he prayed, and that was the prayer, how did someone know that's what he said to write it down in the Bible if everybody else around him was sleeping? That seemed as if somebody else was there. And I will find out. And I'm not going to stop until I find out. I believe somebody else was there. It also said right there, while he was praying, an angel appeared and comforted him while he was praying. If everybody was asleep, who saw that when that happened? To write that in the Bible. They was all asleep. I'm telling you, somebody was there to witness all of that. Unless when he got back to them, he said, while you were sleeping and I was praying, an angel was there to comfort me. The Bible did not say he mentioned that. The Bible also said right there, while he was praying, his sweat becomes like drops of blood. Remember, it was night. Someone have seen that. His sweat start to look like blood. Remember, they were all sleeping. Somebody saw that. It is written in the Bible. So what? He came back and said, I was praying so hard, my sweat become like blood. Did he say that? I don't think so. When they write what he said when he was praying, did he come back and tell the disciple, I just asked God to let this go away? I don't think so either. But somebody write all of this down as if they were right there, witness this happen. So every time you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, it's always like the same story, but they explain it differently. So I went to the book of Mark to see if Mark said something different about this. Lo and behold, Mark said, just after he finished praying and talking to the disciple, the men or the soldiers came to arrest him. It said, all the disciples, they fled, they ran away, leaving him by himself. Mark chapter 14, verse 50 said they left him by himself. Mark 14:51, there was a young man. All he had on was a piece of cloth around him. He was naked. He was following Jesus. So all this time, there was a young man there, naked. Nobody saw that. Matthew did not see it. Neither did Luke nor John. Nobody wrote about that. Mark. That's where it is. I just told you where it is. He was naked, following Jesus. He wasn't a part of the guys who came to arrest him. Let me tell you why. Verse 52. After they grabbed him, he got away from them and he left the piece of cloth in their hand and he ran away butt naked. What do you want me to think now? And why shouldn't I ask what the hell was going on? Why was this young man there naked with just a piece of cloth around him? And remember, it was nighttime. It wasn't in the day, it was nighttime. And while everybody was sleeping, everything that happened, somebody wrote it down, exactly what happened, word for word, and what they saw, what they hear. Nobody else have seen this except for Mark. What do you want me to think now? None of this I made up in my head. No. I read it and I showed it to you. And if you haven't read it yet, go ask somebody to do it for you or do it yourself. Come back and prove me wrong or make it seem as if I'm lying when I'm not, because it is there in the Bible. Might come as a surprise to you, but it is there. Go read it and tell me not to ask about these things, please.